Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Valentine's Day soon, and what if you made your own cards and gift boxes instead of buying them? Or what if you made a bunch and then you sold them on Etsy for some extra cash? And what if we could do all this using a laser and laser cut the cardstock? Laser cutting means it's faster and you can cut more intricate cards and use very thick cardstock of any kind. And I've got some really fun ideas to show you, plus I'll show you the best way to create fold lines and cuts all in one go. And for all of these examples, I'm going to use my xTool M1. This is the smallest of the models of laser machines that xTool make. And of course, if you have any other xTool machine, you can do the exact same process with the examples that I'm going to give you. You just need to change the cut and the score parameters. For the first card idea, I am making some foldable cards that will cut the card and create fold lines all in one. And the easiest way to do this is just to create your file in Creative Space. And for the fold lines, make sure you set those to score and not cut. And this will laser that line with a very low setting that makes it really easy to fold the card along that score line. And for the settings, as usual, this is going to depend on the thickness of your particular cardstock. In this case that I'm using here, this is a medium weighted card, but if your cardstock is thicker, you'll just need to make a couple of test score marks first to test it out. But generally, if you use the presets from the xTool software, that's always worked out for me. And then you can see how easy it is to fold along that score mark. Plus you'll get like a really lovely smooth fold that looks really professional. For the second of the foldable cards, here's a second method to create fold marks by making perforations, and these work better for boxes and complicated 3D projects, but for this example I'll show you how I do them. For the perforations, you need to create the opposite of the score mark and create an array of lines and set these to cut. You need to leave enough space in between each perforation so that the card doesn't tear out. And again, the settings will depend on the thickness of your cardstock, but for this example, I just used the presets from the software and it worked great for me. Now, personally, I do like to use score marks for cards, and then later on in this video, you'll see an example of using these perforations for creating little gift boxes. And I do like those better for that application, but I've shown you the two methods and then you can choose which one you like best. And now for my favourite of all the cards that I've made. This is a fun idea for making cards using layers. This has got 4 layers and it gives a really cool, chunky embossed look. And since it's foldable, it's really easy to do. You just need to glue each layer one on top of the other. And now we can get straight to that gift box I was talking about before. I have made this from very thick cardstock for a nice sturdy box. I love making these gift boxes. You can really get creative and use some gorgeous cardstock. In this case, I've used this gorgeous green pattern and it's embedded with gold. I really love this one. And this is where the perforations come in handy. This is especially good for all of those smaller folds. They're much easier to fold this way than if I were to score them, because they can get a little bit fiddly the smaller they are. This 12-inch block of fancy cardstock made a smaller gift box, but if you had a larger sheet of cardstock, you could make a larger one. And of course, when making cards, what do we need to go with them? Envelopes, of course. And making envelopes is so much fun and it's super creative. You can make matching ones to the cards you make. You can make them any size you need to fit each card. And if you want to be fancier than I have been, you can laser cut some really creative patterns into each envelope. But I've kept it simple and I've made these cards plain and I've added a simple heart laser cut to the back of each one and stuck it down. And then I've made a matching card to go with this. And this is just another creative idea of cards you can make for Valentine's Day. Of course, once Valentine's Day is over, you can use all of these methods and ideas that I've showed you to create birthday cards, etc. And now a novel idea on laser cutting very intricate cuts. And I find that my Cricut machine has a little trouble doing this for me, depending on the type of paper that I've used or the thickness of the cardstock. This is going to be a paper lantern, except it's not paper, it's a medium weight cardstock. And the intricacy of this pattern, it really cut beautifully with the laser. And it was super fast compared to my Cricut. Plus, the noise is not comparable at all. My Cricut was so noisy compared to my laser. And then, once it's done, just a couple of folds, no glue needed, and such a cute idea for a romantic dinner for really any time of the year. In fact, it would make gorgeous table decorations for any occasion, including weddings. And I've used an LED tea light so the card doesn't set on fire. Please make sure you do the same. And because I couldn't help myself and I was on a card making laser cutting roll, I made some more envelopes and matching cards. And one more example you'll see after this one is a really fun pop-up style card. I just love this one. And if my tummy wasn't rumbling and it wasn't getting dark and getting towards the end of the day, I would have stayed and made so many more. But at some point, I also think I ran out of cardstock. But this is the last example of cards, and this one was really fun to do too. And for just a little break away from making cards, I have found some leftover plywood. So I decided I would make this cute hearts and crosses game you can give someone. So easy to do. And then the next day I painted them to just personalize them a bit, make them a little prettier. But I love this idea. It's so original. So that is the whole collection, and as I said, I could have gone on forever and ever and just kept downloading project files and made so many more. I will leave all the links in the descriptions below, as well as some of the laser settings that I've used for this video. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Please thumbs up if you did. This really helps push my video to the front of YouTube's very precarious recommended view list so that my channel doesn't get lost in the background. A lot of work goes into making these videos, so thanks in advance, and thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!